Ben 10 Omniverse should win an award for having the best transformations in the Ben 10 saga. This series really made the alien transformation stand out, which is actually one of the factors that attracts the most attention. While searching for the best alien transformations, I noticed there were 3 forms. The first kind is what I call epic, the second would be normal transformations, and the third is more of a mutation. In this Ben 10 Omniverse transformation special, you'll find a bit of everything. With over 82 transformations ranked, I hope you'll share your favorite. This ranking is special because I'll present it in chronological order. We'll start with an epic transformation, the very first one to be exact, which appears in the 3rd episode of the 1st season. Feedback makes an epic entrance, showing us one of the longest transformations, and it's really well done. In this same episode, we have the 2nd epic transformation as Gravitak makes his debut, showing us his transformation frame by frame. I can already tell you that this is the longest transformation in Ben 10 Omniverse, and it will serve as a guide for transformations we'll see later on. For now, we move on to episode 4 of the 1st season, where the debut of Alien X gives us one of the standard transformations of the saga. And just like this one, we'll see many transformations throughout this list, which try to resemble the original series with a transformation starting from the arm. These are actually flashy transformations, but they don't quite make it into the epic transformations category. Omniverse 2 usually had shorter transformations, but had moments that, oh man, showed us the mutation process. Unfortunately, they couldn't really be appreciated. This was the only way to do it. There were some that stood out from the others, and this became noticeable in the following seasons. It wasn't until the 3rd season that we saw this kind of mutation again, but honestly, they left a lot to be desired. These didn't have the effort or the epic frames that the 1st seasons used to show us, although that didn't really matter, because we came here to see these kinds of transformations.
I hope this doesn't bore you.
By the end of the 3rd season, they decided to fix this by showing us 2 sides of the same coin. On one hand, we saw how the transformation of Way Big happened, which started with Ben's exponential growth as the Tokastar DNA took over everything. Then we saw the transformation of Nanomech, which showed us the shrinking process until he became the alien. In the 4th season, and due to the show's popularity, the animations were improved again. Frankenstrike appeared with an epic transformation, which mixed several elements from the presentation of the aliens and had a pretty epic ending. It was clear that not all the transformations could be good, but the debuts had to be. One of the last things the 4th season gave us was the epic transformation of Atomix. The transformation, the close-ups of the alien, and the moving background made it look really good. The 5th and best season of Ben 10 had to have some of the best transformations, and even though we saw Frankenstrike before, his transformation had to be reused. And I think no one could get upset seeing this twice. What we saw in the 5th season, like the transformation of Snarrow, which is actually really good, you could see that in Blitzwolfer's transformation, which combined elements of both forms. The transformations had to alternate. Feedback and NRG gave us good transformations. And as usual, most of the debuts used to show us this kind of transformation. Vampire stood out. With this, we closed the curtain on the monstrous aliens of Galactic Monster. This led to the final battle of the multiverses with the Bens from other dimensions, where Ben 10,000 made an appearance with Atomic X. Now, in the middle of all this story, a Ben Tennyson appeared with a transformation that will leave you feeling a lot of nostalgia, since the fire transformation was shown in the style of Ben Omniverse. Still, there was much more to see, as they showed us Gwen 10's transformation into Diamond. Even Ben without the watch took the liberty of presenting Clockwork in a very unique way. For the 6th season, let me tell you, they really dropped the ball. It's worth mentioning that they showed us quick transformations in moments we had never seen before, like Cannonball falling from a building. Unfortunately, the effect felt repetitive because they showed many quick transformations. The end of the 6th season and the beginning of the 7th led to the best transformations in Ben 10 Omniverse. The evolved transformation of Swampfire started this, giving us a good transformation and a pattern that we would see repeated in the following aliens. Which honestly didn't matter, since each alien was made to stand out in their own way, like the Diamond of the Petrosapien. In feedback, we saw energy stripes running across his body. In Wildvine, we could see the vines that led up to his final transformation, but the one that took the crown, and the one that for me is the best transformation, was Beast. This transformation aimed to replicate the original series version using the Ben 10 Omniverse style. Let me tell you, and I really applaud it, I love this transformation, and for me it's the best one in Ben 10 Omniverse among the regular transformations of this season. They gave us a surprise, since this was the last one with the nostalgic green and black background. From here on, all the transformations were presented with the new look. Although these last transformations were good, they became repetitive. For the epic transformations, we were looking for something different, like Ghost Freaks. What a treat it was to see a Ghost Freak transformation again, and even more with that kind of chain imagery that reminded us nothing was certain with this alien. Goob's transformation was impressive. I don't know who created it or why I left it out of the epic transformations. The slime covers Ben completely, transforming him into the alien, which is honestly really cool. We've never seen a transformation like this before, especially as the series was ending. They put a lot of care into these last seasons, and the transformations which really stand out, like this cold transformation from Ben 23, an absolute beauty. To close out Season 7, we had to go out with a bang. Mad Ben's Way Big Transformation provided a great sequence, ending the season with one of Ben 10 Omniverse's best transformations.
Are you ready? Ready.
For the first episode of the 8th season, they decided to give us a bit of nostalgia, 3 transformations for a young Ben who was closing a chapter. After all this, we witnessed what for me was the last epic transformation of the saga, where, my goodness, I had never seen fire like this before, Epicardo. What was left of the season was shown to us with basic transformations, and even though Skurd was present in some of these to enhance the alien, it didn't really help much. Ben 10,000 and his transformations appeared more frequently near the season's end. Even though it only showed us fusions, this didn't help them to be considered epic transformations. The 8th and final season of Ben 10 Omniverse gave us what I would call a miscellany. Because among all this, we had some pretty good transformations and others that tried to bring back nostalgia. Anyway, Ben 10 Omniverse gave us a lot of great transformations. For me, there were 12, from which I'll pick 10 to compete with the other sagas. By picking 10 from each, we'll get the best transformation in all of Ben 10. So don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you get the next videos, which are gonna be really great. As for me, I send a big shout out to these people. I'm Frio, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.